Hello and welcome to today's SheerLuxe podcast. I'm Georgie, SheerLuxe's founder and CEO, and I'm joined today
I don't know why I'm laughing.
by our wonderful editor-in-chief, Charlotte Collins.
Hi. We haven't done this for so long.
I know, we've been talking about it for a while,
Yeah.
haven't we? Before we start, Hodge is sitting in the corner. If you could subscribe, then it really helps our podcast be found. So please do that. That would be much appreciated. Happy New Year!
Yeah. We are like back at it today, aren't we? It's day one.
This is my first day in the office.
Mine too.
How was your holiday?
It was so nice. But I'm so ready to be back at work.
I saw your post yesterday.
My God,
I'm ready. I'm
yeah,
ready.
I'm like gagging for it. I think this is boring, but where Christmas fell, there felt like quite a lot of chill time pre-Christmas, as well as because it was a Wednesday and we had a quiet kind of wind down, didn't we, work-wise towards the end. So I kind of felt like I got that, reset pre-Christmas. So then I went to the Cotswolds for a couple of nights, came back on the 29th. And
You
now
went to farmhouse?
Went to farmhouse. But I've been back for, well over a week now. So I was just really excited
You're ready.
to like routine, back to life.
Hodge has just put her hand in the air to say outfits.
This is from Kiltane, which is the brand that we found in Scotland,
yes.
in Edinburgh.
Can I say,
Yeah.
I watched that episode in the gym last week.
Yes.
And I did message you at the time.
You did.
But
Yes.
it was so good. I loved it.
Yeah, it was.
I was at
so
Edinburgh
wholesome.
University, so I'm a bit biased.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Although I wouldn't say they were my happiest years. I didn't love being a student, as I've often said, but
It's a lovely city.
yeah, I really wanted to come
Yeah.
and I couldn't for
Yeah.
various reasons, but it was really great content. So if you haven't watched it yet, watch the Edinburgh
There you
special.
go. So that's where the jump is from, and so many great brand discoveries up there that we
And
found.
her
So,
house.
her house. I can't even talk about it. It was insane.
Unreal.
Like insane. Jeans, I think a mother. Boots of Paris, Texas. Nothing that exciting. Blue and brown was my school uniform, so I feel quite like
Oh, was it?
throwbacky today. Yeah. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing a totem cardigan.
I love that cardigan.
Some girlfriends kindly gave me a voucher to my Teresa for my birthday, and it was sitting there, and I had a slight panic. So I just thought, right, I'll see what they've got from Totem.
No, it's great.
And it's good, isn't it?
Really cozy.
And then I'm wearing a Skims body, a Nina Bing trousers, and Chanel.
Nice.
I've just got quite cold toes
My
now.
feet are so cold.
But I looked at the weather forecast the rest of the week. Oh, it's about to get freezing.
This is like the warmest day.
So I was like, oh, and I tell you what I am wearing actually, talking of Edinburgh, I'm wearing Monica Vinader hoops.
Oh,
I quite like the shape of these.
they're really cool.
So, farmhouse and
So
then a
far-
happy holiday season.
Yeah, that was, pretty chilled. I don't have much to report. I binge watched The Diplomat, which is one of the best things I've watched last year. Have you seen it?
Something before
Have you actually watched it?
Yes.
Loved it. Have you seen both? How much have you watched?
No, I've watched the whole of series 1.
Okay, it's so good. Like, I really loved it.
Have you seen series 2?
Yes.
Did you prefer series 2?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like 1 was good, but it wasn't.
No, series 2 gets really into it. So for those who don't know, it's a Netflix series. It stars Kerry Russell, who is in The Americans. Did you ever watch that? Which was very good. And Rufus Sewell, who he's amazing in it.
He is so good.
So good. And she plays a kind of unwilling ambassador for the US in the UK. And supposedly, by the way, it is the most of all of those shows ever. It's the most true to life
Oh, is that
in
right?
terms of relationships and how it works. Yeah.
And I
apparently.
think that is actually the American embassy that it's shot at.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is internally, but
From
externally
the
it is. Yeah.
outside, whoa. American ambassador to
insane.
the UK has got some seriously nice digs.
A cushy life. It's they were saying actually on the Rest is Entertainment this week that the budget for that show is so huge that they can use locations that like no one else can ever afford. So
that
how
right?
they film outside the American embassy all the time.
And do you know where it's shot? I think inside.
No.
I think it's shot at the OWO.
Oh, that would make sense.
You know that staircase
Yeah,
they
yeah,
go
yeah.
up and those corridors?
Yeah. It's
I'm
got that
pretty
look,
sure,
hasn't it?
someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's shot
Interesting.
inside there. You know, when they're in the government
Yeah,
buildings.
yeah. Anyway, it's a drama.
good.
And in season 2, it's all still uncovering the same mystery that goes on in season 1. But Alison Janney comes in as the vice president, and it's so good. And it ends on another ooh.
Oh, well, I was wondering what I was going to start
Watch that.
tonight, and
Because season 1 ends on a massive cliffhanger as well. So you've got some things.
I was going to start Slow Horses season 2, but I might do
Okay.
that instead. But did you watch anything else?
We talked about Day of the Jackal pre-Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
So good, so brilliant. I started Black Doves. They're quite similar. They're both quite kind of blood splattery.
I only asked that because I did what I have never done before. I mean, I know this is not big news to anyone else, but I watched an entire series on a plane.
Ooh, that's good.
Entire
That's fine.
series.
What did you watch?
8 episodes of Presumed Innocent.
Oh,
Okay,
I've heard it. No, I haven't watched it, but I've heard it's really good.
Oh, just go. It's
like,
so
it's
good.
so good,
It's
yeah.
so good.
Is it? What is that
So
on?
Jake Gyllenhaal
that
is really hot.
He's so hot.
It's so good. You know, you just can't stop thinking. I am not the person that binge watches
you're
anything
not.
start to finish ever.
Yeah.
But on the plane, I watched the entire thing, and it's so good. I finished La Maison, which is the French fashion house thing. That I talked
I
before.
need to watch that.
Yeah, it's quite good. I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is the one. And my family, thanks to Polly Lewin and RFD, my family have got really into Gavin and Stacey.
Oh, that's nice. Love
I never really watched
I was going to say, did you watch it in the first place?
I mean, the Welsh lot, I'm really sorry, Hodge, you should always be on this podcast, but I'm really sorry. The Welsh lot don't do it for me. Other than the bit where the granny falls asleep behind the sofa and wakes up.
Oh, yeah.
And Bryn is going, it's 2008, Gordon Brown is Prime Minister, and Mick goes, Bryn, she's been asleep, not in a coma. The Welsh lot don't really do it for me.
Sure.
Mick and Pam.
I mean, they are the best characters ever.
Alison Steadman.
Yeah, so brilliant.
I don't think there's a better character.
No. Did you watch the Christmas special?
Well, don't tell my children because we haven't finished series 3.
Oh, so they don't know.
But Jonesy and I snuck ahead.
Okay.
We've watched half the Christmas special.
Okay. Only half. So
Yeah.
you don't know how it ends?
No.
Oh my God. You need to watch it.
I was just going, don't say no.
No, we won't do spoilers.
So, yeah, I've watched a bit of TV, which
Nice.
is heaven.
Really
Yeah,
nice.
we had a lovely, I have slept and slept
Oh,
and slept and slept. Like,
good.
I didn't know it was possible.
Yeah.
We had, we keep calling the Americans. We had my husband's family from America over for Christmas, which was lovely. But whereas my family are still drinking red wine faster than you can pour it at sort of midnight on Christmas Day, at 8 o'clock, everyone had gone home.
Oh, right.
The house was tidy.
Wow.
And yeah, it was lovely. But I slept. I mean, at one point I did 12 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 10 hours.
gosh.
Woke up, got back into bed, went back to sleep. I mean,
Unreal.
Jonesy was like, honey, you are obviously absolutely
Exactly.
dead.
You needed it.
Then we went to Dubai to join up with some friends. I feel because I am traveling there quite a lot, I feel it's really important that my children can visualize
Totally.
where I am.
I
when
remember
I've
saying
left
that
them.
last year. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that. We did a few nights there. Went to Gigi. You know Gigi? That?
Yeah. Fun?
Really fun.
Where did you say?
We stayed at a place called Grosvenor House, which is in the marina.
We have one in London too.
Oh, do we?
We do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we stayed there because you get an apartment.
Oh, nice.
Which, when your children are my size and argue quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
We'll say 3 hotel rooms, not cheap.
Yeah, exactly. And then we went to Abu Dhabi and had the complete antithesis to Dubai, which I think it is.
Had you been to Abu Dhabi before?
For a day.
Okay.
And we stayed at the Four Seasons, which my children thought was the best thing ever because there was a lift into the mall.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we arrived. And the concierge said, well, the Galleria Mall is just second. I turned around, they've gone already.
Love that.
So it's great. They just kept taking themselves to the
Great.
mall. God, we just totally chilled, went to that mosque. You were saying,
Well, so I said to you before, we said we'd save the chat, didn't we? But I, on a trip to Dubai, did a day trip to Abu Dhabi as well and did that mosque. And it is the most...
biggest mosque in the world.
The biggest mosque in the world. And it is
With
the
the biggest
most...
carpet in the world.
It's the most extraordinarily beautiful place I have ever been. It's
is,
just
isn't it?
breathtaking. Yeah, incredible.
Bloomy. I could have stayed there for hours.
And that carpet it was all done by hand, wasn't it? It's
And the
incredible.
lights, the chandeliers.
Just beyond.
It's also just so, it was just so calm.
Yeah, it's incredible there.
And they sort of say, can you be calm and can you da-da-da? And then there are thousands of people walking around. And I took this video with my camera and you could sort of hear nothing.
Just respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Do you know about these Abrahamic houses?
No.
So there are 3 houses. So for the Christian faith, the Jewish faith, and the Muslim faith.
Oh, what, out there?
Yeah.
No, it's so weird you say that. Somebody said to me this weekend, did you know there's an enormous synagogue in Abu Dhabi? And I was like, is there? And it looks unbelievable.
Yeah, so there are these 3
Yeah.
houses and it's all about
Amazing.
the religions living in
Yeah, it's so
harmony with each
special.
other. Yeah, it's really cool.
Really cool.
Anyway, so we hung out. Yeah, we did not very much. The weather wasn't great. It's quite an iffy time to go at this time of year. But yeah, loved it. It's a really nice week to go away.
And a great family destination.
Yeah. Yeah, loved it. We put a question box
We did.
out. We are armed with questions.
Yes. We haven't even started yet.
We haven't even
Yeah.
started. So, New Year.
Yeah.
Personal and professional goals that you're most excited about?
Professionally, I feel like we achieved so much last year, and it's not that I don't have professional goals, but I actually feel like we ticked off so many of the things that were real bucket list things as a business and as individuals, but kind of within the business last year, that it's almost like sort of looking past where we've ever looked before in this at this stage, which is a really nice place to be. Personal is wellness. I really let myself get totally, I don't know what the word is, just run down by the end of last year. It was I don't look after myself enough. So that's my goal.
So how
for this
will
year.
you look after yourself better?
I need to exercise more. I need to eat better. All the basics, but I need to prioritize that because I've not been doing that. So that's my personal
You
goal.
used to be really into
I know, I really did.
berries,
Co-box. Yeah,
Co-box,
Co-box.
wasn't it?
But you know what? And I clung on to that for so long. And then I realized that the pandemic began 5 years ago in a few weeks.
Time.
And that was when I last did it.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's time.
It's
What
good
about
to keep
you?
mentally- Well, I'd say my sort of personal and professional are quite similar in that I would just like to, I always think of the 80-20 rule, just try and slow down everything by about 20%. I would like to try and stop life being quite so chaotic, quite so last minute, because I feel like I put that chaos onto other people. And I was explaining to my children why that's quite hard at work, because every time you move, someone says, have you got 2 minutes? And you never want to hold them up, so you take it and it's never 2 minutes.
Yeah.
By which time there's a knock on. We have conversations here that perhaps go on too long, but they're useful. And we sort of think them through. I said to you the other day, didn't you? I sent you a rambling messages and I was like, I'm talking to think here, which you need to do.
Totally.
But I think you need to do that within kind of allotted time because that does knock on to other people. We put the wheels in motion for a lot, you know, from AI to internal strategy to basically you get to do all the sexy stuff and I'm doing
the graft in the
I'm
back.
doing this sort of not that there isn't strategy involved, you know, from you and the senior team, and that's something we all work on together. But you know, there's a lot in motion behind the scenes.
I always say to people when they ask about your transition, I say there's a lot of business behind what you see, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I think we've put a lot into place. We've started off quite a lot, whether it's new software or suppliers or, you know, marketing strategies or the Middle East, building out that team further, building out the product further, AI. I mean, I know Ream is not for everybody, but equally, I really believe that that's an area we need to keep experimenting with. See where it goes. It's not for everybody. I can say that. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not going away.
No. And it's also, it's not innocuous. It's just a bit of experimentation, as you say.
And it's creating a huge amount of workload internally, huge. But I do really believe in it. I'm not quite sure exactly how it's going to pan out, but
No one does.
Minimum viable product, test and learn. So, and as for my personal goals, I would say the same. You know, just trying to be a bit more organised, trying not to leave everything to the last minute, trying to have a bit more downtime. There was a brilliant ab-fab meme going around saying, darling, my New Year's resolution is to have more fun.
Oh.
I sent it to my husband. He's like, I don't think you need to have any more fun.
I was going to say, I think you're going to have fun. Yeah.
So, but a bit more downtime, a little bit more calm.
Yeah.
We're also in the digital world where, you know, we don't really have the luxury of that too much, but 20% more.
Yeah. It's about manageable bites.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone has said, what exciting projects or initiatives are in the pipeline for SheerLuxe in 2025? What is on the horizon for the brand? I mean, you've just touched on a little bit. Anything you want to expand on?
There's strategy, there's doing things better, there's trying to slow down. You know, for years we've moved so fast. I think we really want to refine what we have, keep pushing boundaries, keep trying new things. I mean, I'm sort of talking for you, but SL Man, I think,
yes, that was going to be mine,
is key for us, isn't it? We've just hired our first male working on SL Man full-time in-house, associate editor Harvey.
SL Man has a bigger database now than SheerLuxe did when I started. So that's a pretty good launch pad to grow the brand. But as we know, we've had, you know, having faces represent the brand has been what we've done so successfully. So it was time to do that on SL Man as well. So yeah, lots, I hope, to come this year in the SL Man space.
I think also the community. So we are relaunching our community. So we sort of piloted a community, and for people who haven't been on, it's peer-to-peer sharing of information. So it is one of our readers saying, right, I'm looking for someone who can do Invisalign in Birmingham. Who do you recommend? It gives me such a kick when I see 12 readers go on and start to recommend the people that they've seen. And I really believe that there's legs in that peer-to-peer sharing of information within our community. So we actually built something from scratch. We are now using a sort of white labeling, probably the leading community platform in the UK. It's used by Soho House. It's used by, other big businesses. So
it looks amazing.
It's
exciting.
really exciting. As I said, I really firmly believe in that long tail of our peers sharing information. So in terms of sort of what people will see outwardly, I'd say that's one of them.
Somebody has said, Georgie, SheerLuxe has been a trendsetter in the lifestyle industry. What trends are you most excited about in 2025, whether in fashion, wellness or media?
I'm banging the same drum. Well, I will say fashion-wise, I'm not really the person to ask. I feel like I am less in touch with trends than I ever have been. I'm obviously hugely inspired by our content, and I would be lost without it. Wellness trends. I mean, I think wellness is, it sort of had a huge moment, didn't it? Sort of 5-10 years ago. And then it's sort of gone quiet. I think this is going to be big.
I think it's so personal, though, isn't it? Like trends, there's obviously so many trends, but as you said, wellness for you looks like spending more time watching a box set. It's so about what works for you.
Yeah. I think moving is, my husband's company this January have got, they've got a step count challenge.
Cool.
We did something for November, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
But I think moving with all the sort of smart wearable technology, I mean, these Aura rings, blow.
I know, it's amazing. It's all amazing.
Should I get one?
People
I
love
really
it.
like how they look.
I don't think it's that offensive. Polly Sayer wears one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Congrats, Polly Sayer! Oh my God, I
Exciting.
literally shrieked.
I know.
Because we had a conversation
We
before
did.
Christmas.
We did. Yeah, with the Christmas
Gosh,
party.
what a happy news.
I know, such good news. Such lovely news. I know.
As for media, I think AI, I mean, I'm really, really fascinated to see where it is going to go. I can't encourage people to try it more. My husband said, he's like, oh, we really need to, as a business, they need to sort of do more and figure it out and experiment. But it is going nowhere. We're seeing the worst version. I can't believe that there is anyone in any job virtually that can't be using it.
There's that quote from somebody at Google that says something like, you won't lose your job to AI, you will lose your job to somebody who uses AI better than you. I just think it's
man.
right? Like,
I mean,
it's about how you're using it.
Man, when I started SheerLuxe, there was no social media. Look at the jobs in social now. I mean, it's very hard to recruit people because they're so in demand. Same with e-commerce, same with tech, full stop. So I think we need to get over the fact that it's going to steal jobs. It will create as many jobs as it will steal, if that's the word.
Isn't it?
Can we talk about travel? Do you have any exciting? I mean, of course you do. Of course you do. Tell me what's on the list.
I don't know. Last year we did like this mega trip last year.
Your US trip.
Our US trip, which we love so much, and we're struggling now to work out how to top it almost.
Japan.
Desperate to do Japan. It has to fit with marathon season. So there's the Tokyo Marathon is April. So I'm hoping next year Japan's top of the bucket list because he's doing London this April. So next April. Japan Tokyo trip, and I'm desperate to go back to Africa and do safari again. So that will be next year as well. I think this year, I don't know. We've got such this American constant itch to scratch, and just love it there so much. But what we did was so special this summer that trying to find
it was mega. Just for people listening, remind us where you went.
We went to Montana. Well, just Montana and Utah, but we did camping in Yellowstone and we did a ranch in Montana and just whitewater rafting and ATVing and all sorts of fun things. Big road trip. So I'd love to do all of that same kind of stuff again, but without then trying to feel like you're trying to recreate the same trip. Going to the British Virgin Islands in a few weeks.
Are you?
Yeah. I wanted hot beach. We never, ever
Not on a boat.
flop on a beach. No. A few nights in Miami, and 5 nights on an island there because
cool.
Yeah,
called. Should we know what it's called?
It's called Gorda is the island. It's a rosewood there. It looks lovely. Don't know. I'll let you know when I come back.
Nice.
But yeah, we never ever flop. And as they say, I haven't. Even when I was in Mallorca last summer, I worked So the time off that I had last year was spent doing lots of adventure busy things. And yeah, I haven't just sat. So
Yellowstone. Just side note. Have you watched all of
no,
that?
I haven't. I need to.
I haven't either.
And obviously we booked it and every single person said,
I
"You watched
know.
it?"
Everyone's like, you will love it.
She loves it. You need to watch it. It's never
There's a
quite,
lot, though.
I agree. It's never quite enticed me, but
Are you watching Traitors?
yeah, it's so good.
Is it?
Have you started it?
No.
It's so good.
Can I just say, I find it's a bit drawn out. Shuffling into
completely agree.
breakfast. There they are again. The challenges are pretty boring, if you ask me.
I actually completely agree. There's quite a lot
Could
of
it
sort
not
of
be 20 minutes?
rigmarole around the whole thing and sort of American zooming into the castle and zooming out of the castle.
Yeah.
I get it. So I tend to fast forward those bits.
You see, that's it. You know, you've reminded me I'm not going to watch it. I just feel a bit
you're
left
not gonna
out
watch
when
it?
everyone's talking about it.
So you're gonna feel left out, but just still not watch it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Do you think I should watch?
Yeah. But just watch it just fast forward the bad bits.
In other news, Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart. I haven't watched it. I really need to. Have you watched it?
Yeah, I found him a bit slow at the beginning.
Okay. Is it
Just
just
very unlikable.
Is it a series or is it a one-off?
No, it's one off.
Okay. Unlikable.
But it is really interesting.
Why unlikable?
Because she's not a very likable person.
Just not warm.
Not at all. When you're in a relationship, do you talk to the men you are in a relationship with about how they're feeling? No, I'm not really interested in how they're feeling. I'm interested in what they're doing and thinking. She's quite unlikable, and I think that's sort of widely thought having watched it. But it is incredible what she built. God, they were harsh on her, sending her to prison for 5 months.
What did she do?
Well, sort of insider trading, sort of.
Okay.
But I say sort of because if, insider trading is obviously...
I was going to say, I thought it was quite binary.
Yes, but it sort of was anyway. Okay. It's really good. But it made me think about Meghan. Quite a vocal response to our social media posts. 15th of Jan.
I think the thing is that they have spent so long asking for privacy. So that's what gets it. That's what just irritates everybody. It's nothing to do with her. It's the constantly saying, leave us alone, whilst then still wanting a career in the spotlight.
They own Netflix, quite a lot of bloody money.
Well,
don't
that's
they?
hence why they're still creating the
Have you
content,
seen Polo, his thing?
No, apparently that bombed. Like, I
Yeah.
think nobody watched it. Did you watch it?
I saw it pop up on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I love a sporting docu, you know me, F1. Anyway, had she seen the Martha docu when she decided she was going to do it? Because she's jumping on a barefoot Contessa, Goop,
Yeah.
Martha Stewart.
Wholesome trad wife thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is watchable.
Totally. And feels kind of on brand. I think she really is that.
Or is she just a seriously good actress?
I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, I watch her and I'm like, you are a good actress.
I think she's
turn it on. Would you
so-
watch it?
I think I'll try.
Yeah.
It's a bit like what was the last series they did? And I watched about 10 minutes and I just thought, I hate this. But I find her beautiful and mesmerizing and people will watch. But I just find the hypocrisy irritating.
And actually, I'm sort of fascinated by her. And good for her. Do you know what I mean? She's been good for her. She's got to make money, blah, blah, blah. Like, I sort of commend her for that, truly. I find the wedge she's driven between him and his family sort of unforgivable, actually.
Yeah.
Because that can't make him feel good.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to. She could have left and said, it's not for me. Good luck to you all. We're going to go and live another life.
Agreed.
Anyway, sorry.
Got
distracted.
So that's
travel
my travel. That's
plans.
kind of it. And yeah, it's 'cause the rest of it, TBC. Keep you posted. What about you? Middle East travel coming up?
Lots of Middle East travel coming up, which I've got to fit into the school term time because I don't do it in the holidays.
Yeah.
And then skiing for a couple of weeks.
Fun. Where are you skiing?
Valda's there. And then we had such a successful trip on a boat. I mean, who would have thought it? I'm like the anti-Christ of boats. So we're doing
Nice Euro trip.
weeks on a boat. We're doing one on a mono hull.
What does that mean?
It heals.
Okay. Oof.
I know this.
Okay.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
this is not my natural habitat.
But you liked it?
Well, we did a catamaran,
Not
which
the
is
same.
like a floating caravan.
Yeah.
This time,
It moves. Okay.
we'll see.
In Europe again.
Might be the last. Back to Croatia.
Lovely.
New Year's resolutions or goals? You doing dry January?
I'm going to go dry until my holiday. That was my plan.
Is that BVI?
That's BVI in 3 weeks. Yeah. Do you know what? I got so wasted on New Year's Eve. Like so Beyond
Where did you
wasted.
go?
No, we went to Neighbours for a drink, and it's so lame. I honestly,
You got shit faced at your neighbours.
I pounded 3 martinis. I like a martini. I drink a lot of martinis, but I suppose it's rare that I would have 3 having not eaten. And I just, when you get up and it was just.
You lie on your bed and it starts and you think, please, can I pass out?
Yeah, and I passed the fuck out, and it was
God.
8 p.m.
Thank God though, because the alternative is that you puke.
Yeah, I mean, it got messy. I was sick, and then I passed out. I mean, it was not okay. It was not okay. Ben spent New Year's Eve like alone on the sofa because I was unconscious. So I think it was time for some dry jam.
That's so not like you.
I know. I normally really know my limits, but I don't know. New Year's Eve, I got excited. Anyway, so that's my resolution-ish. 3 weeks of sobriety. What about you?
I am doing drier because
damp Chan. That's what we call it.
I'm doing drier. I find this sort of all or nothing just sets you up to fail. I've got a great friend's birthday. I've got a really fun dinner party. They didn't want me to turn up, and I've got
so you want to drink and have fun.
And actually, I find this sort of all or nothing. Yeah. So when we were in Abu Dhabi, I think we arrived on New Year's Day and we left on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And bearing in mind we were out for every lunch and dinner, I think I had 3 glasses of wine, which is
for a holiday.
Yeah. And now I've got nothing until I've got 10 days of nothing. So I'm going to do 10 days. I might have 1 or 2. But I just find the
cold turkey is mean.
The cold turkey just a bit unnecessary. Yeah. And actually, my diary's quite quiet. There's quite a few people I didn't get to catch up with pre-Christmas because everyone was manic. It's actually a really nice time to go and say, let's go for 1 glass of wine. And although have you seen that Liam or Noel Gallagher meme where he's like, going down the pub for a pint? I mean, what's the fucking point of that? He's like, I'd rather stay at home or you're going to have 9. 1 fucking pint. Whoever went to the pub and had 1. Oh, on my plane was Nicole Appleton.
Oh.
She's her son.
Who looks identical to,
who is a Gallagher.
Yeah, Jean, I think his name is. She was Robbie Williams' ex-fiancée, right? Yeah. There's this Robbie Williams film out. Yes. He's a monkey.
Yes.
Which apparently it's supposed to be amazing. Had amazing reviews. She features quite heavily in that.
Oh, yes. Don't know how I feel about that.
I believe it's one of those things where you have to see it to then be like, oh, okay, I get this. Okay, a question for you. Someone has said, how do you manage childcare and family time during the holidays, especially with tweens and teens at home?
It's really hard. I think little people, you have childcare. Tweens, you definitely still need childcare, or you need camps, or you need... I don't think you can be a full-time working mother and not have help. I mean, I guess some people have family members, some people are... my sort of latest wheeze, is it a wheeze? Or what's worked really well for me in the last few years is finding students who are local, who want the money and who my children really love hanging out with. I had a couple of holiday nannies that weren't great. Whereas I've now gone to hiring. I have someone at home full time, but I have 3 children, quite full on. So I've gone to getting a student as an extra pair of hands.
Clever.
That has worked so well.
So like a 19-year-old who hangs out with them. And I love that.
And they'd rather be with them than me. So, they absolutely love it. Would you like Louise to take you ice skating or me? I mean, they'll go with Louise. So I think that for me has worked really well. It's really hard. The school holidays are so long. I think you have to go into it if you work full time with help. Yeah, that would be my only advice.
And help can be in many different forms.
Yeah, it's sitting there doing art with them. It's sitting there, all the stuff that you just can't do and don't really have the patience for anymore. Maybe it's really hard. I really feel for working mothers.
Okay, one more for you. Okay, somebody said, as a successful woman in business, what advice would you give other entrepreneurs looking to grow their own brand or business in the new year? Something you haven't mentioned, just as a slight tangent to that, is the incubating that we are doing for a brand. Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. So I guess having worked on, I've wanted to do this actually for a long time, and the sort of long-term plan for Luxe & Co is that we might get a bit more involved in the strategy and growth of emerging businesses. So whether that's mentoring, investment, marketing, etc. And I suppose a good example of the impact that good branding can have is a brand like Discovery, so formerly known as Jane and Tash, the impact that their rebrand has had on their business. And I say rebrand, it's logo, fonts, look and feel, web design, their shoots, their campaign shoots, also their e-com shoots as well.
That's amazing.
And so I suppose that really put to the top of the agenda, how can we do that more? How can we sort of incubate and help businesses that we see real potential in grow? So we put out a call to emerging entrepreneurs to apply for pro bono Luxe & Co support. And we had, gosh, I don't know how many entries.
A lot. Yeah.
A lot. Loz and Sapna were very involved in the shortlist. But yeah, the one we selected is very cool. I can't really say any more, but it's a totally new product. It's in the sort of...
Sorry, I was going to say a totally random category. It's not
Well,
fashion,
it's sexual well-being kind of space.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can't wait to get going. We're helping her at the moment with her investment deck. Then we'll go on to kind of branding, packaging, etc.
So cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
How does it work? Does she get a set amount of hours?
At the moment, we're sort of figuring that out. Yeah. It's not quite as formulaic as that, but we're helping her, for example, with a survey. So she wants some qualitative and quantitative feedback on what people buy in the category, how much they spend, what their perception is, etc., etc. So, we can leverage the SheerLuxe database to do that. Yeah. But also help her with her branding and look and feel for her investment deck. And obviously how you present your investment deck is hugely important. Of course. So that's cool.
Yeah, super cool.
I would say in general, just get going. I always say at minimum viable product. Yep. Test the market, test the appetite. And, that's the best way to learn.
Okay, somebody has said, how has your approach to work-life balance evolved? What's one piece of advice you'd offer to someone trying to juggle career and family life? The age-old question.
I would say it gets harder as your children get older. Don't underestimate that. I think I've said this recently. They need you physically, they need you mentally. There's a time when they just need you physically when they're little. Then they need you physically and mentally. Then the physical passes, I think, because they can get themselves from A to B. But mentally, my God, they need you when they're teenagers. So
I heard the other day, small children, small problems. Big children, big problems.
Yeah, for sure. It's don't believe the movies. It's obviously worth it, but it's really hard and it doesn't go away. It dawned on me the other day that probably when my children are 30, I'll still worry about them as much as as I do now. I would say investing in your career. I've said this before. Investing in your career when your children are young, realizing that you will want it on the other side. Realizing that, yes, when you hold that baby in your arms, you think it's all you were meant for. But trust me, at 44, with friends that perhaps have sacrificed their career, and you can get it back, don't get me wrong. But if you can, hang on to both, because you will want it. I'm 44. I've got 40 years of living ahead of me. I would say find a way to fit the career in, and that means different things to different people. Whether they have family, or they have the money for childcare, whether they, it's really freaking hard being a woman. It is really hard, but we are great multitaskers. And as I've said so many times, so many of our mothers have the best work ethics, and you trust them and you know they'll get it done, and you have to give them that trust, and it's really hard. I would say set the boundaries from the minute you have children. Set the boundaries that you are co-parenting.
Yes.
Because I would say for many years I took it all on, and my career has got more and more intense, and I'm now trying to share the load a bit. Yeah. And there's a lot of learned behavior there. And the world is changing, and my husband is a great man and a kind father, and cares about me and does his bit. But there's still a lot of learned behaviour that I've allowed to happen. So the sooner you share that load, the better from day one.
You're basically on an uneven kilter from day dot, aren't you? So you've got to really overcompensate, I think, to find
you got to give birth, you got to carry the baby, you got to breastfeed. And, you know, we're our own worst enemies because we want it. We want to be the control freaks and we want them to fall over and say, Mummy, not Daddy. I mean, I'd die if they fell over and said, but, you know, that would really be my advice is just from day one, share that load if you can.
Just a quick note, if you are listening, if you've stuck with us this far, please do subscribe. It really, really helps us out. And if you've enjoyed what you've heard, there's lots more of this. So do hit that subscribe button, please. Okay, this is a nice question. This kind of is a bit like the discovery question. What makes a brand great? How do you know when a brand has it and stands out?
Gut feel, you just know. You just know whether the straps are the right length on the bag. You know it. I mean, I'm afraid, you know, we've learned it. Well, it's instinctive in us.
Yeah.
There's nothing more exciting than discovering something new.
What brand did you I feel like you found loads in the Middle East last year. What brands was there one that you saw last year and you thought, God, that's a good brand?
I tell you, the brand I really love that I discovered actually is Bugessa. I feel like we talk about it quite a lot.
Yeah, but it's amazing.
It's really amazing. It's really timeless, but it's cool. Her shaping is good. Her tailoring is good. What about you? Foria. Can I have Foria, the jewellery brand?
Yes. Is that the really cool big...
They're like chains I wore to the fashion awards. I wore 3 of the same.
Oh, that. Year. Yeah, I think it's something else. Yeah. Wasn't there something that was like a big metal cool...
Misho.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Well, that stuff, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Have you seen their massive necklaces?
I just find jewellery as a category amazing. Actually, in the Middle East, there are so many jewellery brands who are doing stuff that's so different. Yeah. I just... love it. I mean, I
love all my favourite part of what you do when you go to the Middle East is see the fashion that you try on, because I agree it's so much more experimental and creative.
Yeah, it is. And I feel like here everything is quite identical. Yeah, there is some really, really cool stuff out there.
Really unique.
What about you? Any brands that you discovered?
I feel like I must have, and
bags, denim, knitwear, shirting, homewares. Talk about your home. It's looking stunning.
Thanks.
I feel like we see little snippets.
I know,
of
little snippets, because
when do we get a proper look?
You don't. I tell you when it is finished. And my husband thinks we're 99% done. I'd say we're like 60% done, maybe 58% done. There is so much more to do. What a bloody mountain to climb. Doing a whole house is so much work.
What's next?
So on the agenda is... my grandparents, they sold my grandparents' house recently, and so there was some bits of furniture going. So took a cabinet from there, really beautiful. It's a sort of like a writing desk that kind of folds out.
Oh, lovely.
So lovely. And
a bureau,
thank you. And had grand visions of I'd like to strip it because it's a bit too chestnut for me. And
really?
Yeah, it's the wrong colour, but it's really whatever. I like the idea of the shape there. I'd quite like to do it in like a brown lacquer, like a chocolate brown lacquer. Anyway, it's too big for the little space that I need. So I now need to get it taken off its base and put on it. It's a faff. But that's nice. And they've got some chairs from them as well, which are not super old. They're like 1980s, but with a nice little re-upholstered. There's a fabric that I've fallen in love with, and I really like 2 chairs made out of it. And it is so eye-wateringly expensive that actually this works quite well, because it's not a full chair. It's like they're wooden, and then it would just be the cushion.
Nice.
Much cheaper.
Okay, we've got a few light-hearted things to finish on. If you could recommend one chic item for a 35-year-old to invest in, what would it be?
I mean, we sort of have our endless list, don't we, of the kind of capsule wardrobe things that everybody should have. I mean, a great coat is probably, I think, a cheap coat. And that doesn't mean that it has to be expensive, but a coat that looks cheap is like the most cheapening thing of all. That and cheap shoes.
Seams.
Yeah, loads of seams, or too short, a coat that's cut like in your knees or something. So just buy a coat that looks expensive, or is expensive if you can. And then I think that you kind of can't go wrong.
Shoes and bags, obviously. I would say blazer. I mean, I'm such a blazer girl. But I always think back to my Hodge. We have the same Ray blazer. And it is, I mean, to say I've worn it probably 300.
I have it too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Leave me out of this.
Do you want to sell it to me?
No, it's a really good one. It's a really good one.
It's the best. Like, I have worn that quite literally hundreds.
Honestly,
hundreds of times.
What a loss. Like everything, all of my best things in my wardrobe are from that brand.
What are your thoughts on beautiful lingerie versus more practical options like Skims?
I'm not a sexy lingerie girl. I'm not. I've got a few nice sets, but for every day, I think Skims is amazing. I love, and I also think that can be really sexy. Like a cool pair of women's briefs and a simple tank. Like, that's cool.
Also, Heist are doing some really good things,
Yes,
by the way.
I actually put on a Heist body this morning. I didn't end up wearing it, but I put on a Heist.
Was it brown?
Yes, the brown polo neck. Yeah.
Polo neck?
Yes, brown polo neck body. It's a high neck. I wanted this today because
Oh,
everything's
no,
pale, but
I got it wrong.
it cut about there. So it's a polo neck, but it's not too high. But yeah, really good.
I also start record. I know Primark Skims dupes.
Really?
So
yes,
good.
you have said that before.
Yeah, so good.
I think Skims is the comfiest brand in the entire world.
Yeah, it is. I'm
Unbelievable.
wearing a t-shirt now. I love it. What key items are on your wish list
Ooh.
for this year?
I need a new everyday handbag. I would like to sell some of my bags. I'd like to get rid of my Celine belt bag, my Loewe puzzle. And
Really?
yeah,
I didn't keep that one.
just put over it.
Yeah.
Like every man and his dog's got one. And I've got a Chanel boy as well, which I don't use at all.
What
and I
colour?
think black, silver hardware. And
Oh,
I would
yes,
quite like to
yes,
get rid of
yes,
all
yes.
of those and buy a really good Bottega. Like a really good, or maybe two
I
really good
nearly
Bottegas. with
bought a
that.
Bottega in Dubai.
Which one?
The soft one. I think I'm going to have to buy it.
It's a good bag. Anyway, so that is what is on my wish list this year. That is my plan. There is something else I want. I'm going to reset my engagement ring this year.
Are you?
I am, which I've always been really against doing.
Well, you say that, but I
Yeah.
remember your mother's done it.
Yes, my
about-
mum's done it loads of times, which I think is so.
I remember
exactly.
years ago.
She
you were
has.
saying your mum's done it like 3 times.
Yes, which I've always
Hodge
thought.
has done it about 4 times. It's still not
She
right.
still
It's
doesn't
gone
even
back.
wear it. I know.
Yeah.
I've always thought it's really unromantic, and I was always quite
Oh, no,
purist
no,
about
no.
it. And
The romance is in the stone.
exactly, the romance is in the stone, and also I've got 4 prongs on it because I don't like the look of multiple prongs, and it's loose, and it's come loose again, and I know it. And
So
that's
what
just,
are you doing?
so-
Where are you going?
I want to get. I'll have to show you a picture. We'll put it on the screen or we'll put a link or something. Like a real, and obviously I
Right,
wear
with a
4
setting.
super chunky setting.
Have you seen Tamara's
No.
ring?
No,
Our
I've seen
editor
hers,
in
yeah.
the Middle East. It's fascinating actually how settings have changed. Obviously, even Justin McCormack has a lot
Yeah.
to answer for, but there are some really modern
Yeah.
settings in fine jewellery now that I think is seriously
like so
interesting.
cool. And so there's a brand.
Oh, I love this game. Please do it.
Yeah, I will. So it's an American designer called Ariel Ratner who has rings. Like you'll have seen, I think there's one ring that went really viral where it was like the stone was kind of loose and then it was like a band that wrapped round and then it was at the top of the ring. The top of the wrap was the stone.
I know exactly.
That
You
look.
can almost see the hollow of the wrap.
Exactly. So not that. Yeah, exactly. That's not what I want to do. But yeah, I want to set it in something because I wear 4 that's almost as chunky as all 4 together, and then it's just the one.
I think you don't need to wear 4 though, do you?
No, that's my point.
Yeah,
I'll get rid of
yeah.
all and have one big chunk.
Oh,
there.
yes, Charlotte.
So that's my plan. Where do you get your outfit inspiration from?
I just think I become more and more simple as the days go by. Knowing your brands, knowing your colour palette, knowing your style. I don't have time. As I said before, I think I said on Amanda Waitie's podcast, I'd like to become like David Beckham with a rail in my spare room and plan my outfits for a week. That's
Not gonna happen.
no, I don't think so.
Is it your Birkin year?
I'm hoping.
I think the time.
I think I'm going Kelly.
Kelly, nice.
I say that. Here's hoping.
Okay, fingers crossed for you.
Here's hoping. Here's dreaming. What the fuck? Who do I think I am? No. Can we finish off with a bit of beauty?
Yeah.
Can we have 3 things in your beauty black book and
Yes.
or products that you love?
Yes. Okay. So I'm on a skincare journey because I've had some hormonal skincare problems over the last year. CeraVe cleanser, Sarah Chapman salicylic acid cleanser, a Sarah Chapman vitamin A, and then a simple moisturizer. Those are the things that I have found have really helped. So that's the skin. You have that as one? Is that a package?
Yeah.
The Westman Atelier concealer is life-changing.
Is it?
It is incredible. It only launched about a month or so ago, 2 months ago, and it is absolutely amazing. It's high coverage. It's incredible. Like the best concealer I've ever tried. Biab nails changed my life last year. Maybe it was the year before, but consistent Biab has in terms of talking about having time and freeing up time, just scrap anything else, move on to Biab and
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And you don't even have to glance at them once in that time.
Well, mine were like yours now
They were.
for years. And then I put tips on them.
Is that what happened? I wondered why you went short. Right.
Disaster. Fucking disaster. 'Cause they have to chop them right
Yeah, they do.
off.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're finally coming back. Thank God. So I'm with you. I'm a biosculpture girl.
Similar. I just feel like they're rock solid. They're just not going anywhere. I love
Yeah,
it.
I know they're coming. They're coming. They're back. 2025.
What about you? What's your black book right now?
I mean, Black Book. change the subject. David Jack, Nina Bow.
Yeah.
Polynucleotides, Morpheus 8.
Yeah.
I think both are great.
I think this might be my Botox year, by the way.
You never had it before?
No.
Never?
No, I've held out.
Are you actually serious?
I swear my life, I'm not.
You
I
and
haven't
Luke
been that
cracked me up on
wrinkly.
the Edinburgh trip.
Why?
Just you two going. We used to send pictures of us going,
Oh
I
my
look
god,
quite
it's so
good.
fucking shit now. Yeah, there's just some lines that are bothering me more than
You've
they
never
used
had
to.
a needle in your face?
I had my filler nose job 3 years ago,
yeah.
which was amazing, and I'd love to do it again. But Nina Bow won't do it anymore. Everyone's saying it's too dangerous.
I had it done, then I had it dissolved.
Yes,
It is.
Yeah, it's really dangerous. Actually, Dr. Wasim told me they will now. The reason it's dangerous for those listening is because there's a vein that runs basically through your entire face, which if they happen to accidentally pierce it, would blind you. He said they will now do an ultrasound of your face so they can see where the vein is, whereas before they were stabbing in the dark. But anyway,
Brow lamination,
yes.
I love.
Yeah.
What do they say? Up for old, down for young. Up for young, down for old.
Okay, that makes sense.
In your brows.
Yeah.
As in up for young, down for old.
Got you.
But you can only have your eyebrows laminated every 6 weeks.
Right.
So the benefit, gel,
Yeah,
Lisa
it's the one.
Potter agrees.
Interesting.
They do not budge all day.
That's good.
So fill them in with a bit, then put the
Benefit.
stuff on and they are
Good to know.
glued.
I did microblading, as you know, last year as well, which I don't think I've talked about on the podcast, and that has changed my life as well. They were really short.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, they ended like where maybe like my eye ends. I really, from years of over plucking as a teenager, I was missing the tail ends, and I went to Holly Parks, who is amazing. And can you see, I've got a bit of pencil on today, but basically all of that is fake. Like she does these individual lines.
good.
They're incredible.
That's bloody good.
Like so incredible.
I hate
Block.
the block.
Awful.
And I'm yet to really see somebody my colouring without
Interesting.
the block.
Yeah.
That's very good. I like to
It's
look closer.
really, really good. Yeah.
When we're off air, I'd like to look closer.
You may.
With that in mind.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. Anything else? Any other beauty makeup? Anything?
The Saint Laurent Love Shine number 44, which is like hen's teeth.
Hard to find.
Oh my God.
Really?
Very duty free. I'm like, why do you have the sample out?
Yeah.
They're like, people just come in and buy dozens of them. I was like, well, get more or take the sample away because it's really upsetting. I love that stuff. And a good lip pencil.
Me too.
Astra, I found this one in Italy. I found it on Amazon. It's freaking good. It's the first
Astra.
time. Yeah,
Random.
so good.
There you go.
I think that's a wrap. I need a closer look at your brows.
You do, and I'm so hungry. So
Me too.
let's wrap it up. This was fun. Thanks. Thank you for listening as well. If you have any feedback, email podcast@SheerLuxe.com. We love hearing from you. Please do subscribe. It really does help us out. And do look out for the question box. We haven't answered any dilemmas today, but normal programming will resume next week and we will be answering your dilemmas. So look out for that question box on social and do let us know any burning dilemmas you may have. The team are ready to answer them. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye.